Well, this is going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a little bit tricky because, first of all, there are no kids here today, except you kids at heart. That's a setup. And even if there were, I couldn't get them to come down to the front anyway right now, right? And that's too bad. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a second. But you can, from where you are, sing very loudly. Even at home, wherever you are, if you happen to be, I don't know, watching this on public transit, please feel free to sing. Because it's always good to celebrate birthdays, and particularly when somebody who's just had a birthday yesterday is here, Jackie. Or someone who's having a birthday today, who we'll see later on this afternoon in person. Chris is having a birthday today too. I think Chris is maybe 30 and Jackie's 70. So between the two of them, we should get a nice average there. But there are other birthdays this week, I'm sure. Okay, not, so I was just joking. I'm sure there's other birthdays this week too. So please join me in the birthday song, or happy birthday, whichever you prefer. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. May you feel Jesus near every day of the year. Oh, happy birthday to you, oh, happy birthday to you. Have the best year you've ever had. Can I get an amen? Amen. Thank you. And so, just because it was your birthday yesterday, Jackie, you can have extra. So, remember last week? Not last Sunday morning, but last Sunday evening? It was... In fact, some of you may please remember last Sunday morning, because I know you dressed up for it. And it was Halloween. Of course it was Halloween. And the best part of Halloween is, of course, yeah, it's children coming to your door dressed in costumes, isn't it? Of course it is. That's the best part. How many people actually, like, okay, when you get the candy and stuff, do you get, like, the candy for the day, and then you get the candy that you're going to eat between when you buy the candy and the day, and then, of course, there's the candy you're going to eat after the day? Don't you? Doesn't everyone do that? What's wrong with you guys? Yeah. Oh man. Okay, these guys are being tricky. Anyway, so we had, what did we have, like 80 kids? Yeah. Something like that? There was quite a few. And they had great costumes. Fortunately, we overbought on the candy. Which was a good thing. Because Lori was just like handing out fistfuls to kids. It was ridiculous. Anyway, great thing about having candy is if you're properly prepared, like I said, you can have lots of candy leading up to the day, and lots of candy for after the day. And then, of course, you're careful, not like Lori, you're careful when you hand it out, right? So that you got some left over. Because, sharing. Oh, I see what you're thinking. But don't worry. When I'm done and I've had enough, I'll give some to you. Isn't that how it works? I got mine first, and then if I got any left over. And then I'm going to show Jackie first, because she's more important, because it was her birthday yesterday. Chris, if you're watching, I'll save some for you for later. Maybe. These are pretty good. So, I don't know if I can, I can probably get through this, actually. If you just give me enough time, I can get through this. And then, oh, I don't really like those ones. Here, Jackie. Thing is, that's funny when it's candy, but it's not funny when it's important stuff. I'm not saying candy isn't important, because it is. But the thing is, we do have a tendency to treat things that way. Once I dealt with what I want, and let's be clear, it's more often than not want than need, then I might share if I have any left over. And I'm often going to be fussy about who I share with. And that's tricky, because that's so not Jesus, is it? Jesus is all about, this is me, I share with you. Not, this is me, let's see what I need, and then if I got some left over, maybe for you. And if you're special, you might get more. That's not Jesus at all. Jesus is all about, if I happen to have this and I'm going to open this bag, you all are sharing this with me right from the start. Right? Right from the start. This is what I have, I share with you. That's tricky, especially when you're at church. That's tricky, because quite often our let's call them stewardship plans, we mean finances, depend on your financial support. This is where this is truly learning together and not just about kids. Although kids, if you have candy left over from Halloween, I expect you to bring it next week and share it with me. But this is the thing about Jesus. Jesus is all about share from who and how you are and what you have. Not what you have left over. Jesus is about share with everyone, because everyone is worthy and valued. There's a story about Jesus watching this elderly widow donating money to the temple. And he says that she's given so much more than the others because they just gave a part of what they have. And on the surface, I'm going to get deeper later, but on the surface, this is just a very simple, that little piece is a very simple reminder that Jesus is about sharing who and how and what we have fully. Jesus is about making sure that those in need are cared for. Jesus is about ensuring that we share from our sense of abundance. And I want you to remember the A word, because I'm going to use it again later in a very different way. But Jesus is about abundance. We have in order to share. I have a lot of candy here. I'm seeing the very disappointed look on Lori's face when I say I'm going to share this with everyone. But I'm going to give it to her first and see what you do with it. It's a test. But it's not just about the candy, is it? It's about, and it's not just about money. It's not just about things. It's about who we are and how we are and the love that we have to share with each other. Even from like the smallest things to the biggest things, whatever it is, all of those things count. I think that's a segue to the hymn.